Hi everyone, how are you doing today? This is Shakira Alanrawaju, your tax resolution CPA. So today we're going to be talking about what to do if you happen to have an IRS exam or audit going on, but you don't have any receipts, you don't have any supporting documentation. I know that could be very scary, but listen to me. There's something you could do. There's a way out. In the 1930s, there was a court case that led to something called the Cohen Rule. Now, with the Cohen Rule, it basically stipulates that if you have income, then you should have expenses, right? However, the IRS sometimes they'll come at you with an exam or an audit, and you tell them I just don't have anything to show you because I either lost it in a flood or something happened, and I just don't have enough. Maybe I have just a few, but I don't have enough, or I just can't find anything. You need to realize that you do have rights. So realize that you can present things as estimations. You can provide supporting estimations or documentation based on your approximation of what exactly you think that expense item is. Okay, so let me give you an example of how this works. I had a taxpayer come into my office. He had a parts store. Unfortunately, he lost everything in a flood when his building got flooded, and he didn't have any supporting, cost anything to support the cost of goods sold for all the items, his inventory. So basically, he felt hopeless. He felt very helpless. He didn't know what to do. I remember the interview the first time I met him, and he was trying to go at it by himself. The IRS was not allowing anything. Even after he explained he'd lost everything in a flood, they were like, if you can't support it, there's nothing we could do. And he thought, it was over. He was going to be saddled with about $80,000 in tax debt. But he said let him contact a CPA, and he reached out. And when he contacted me, I was so happy he did, because we were able to reconstruct his case. We were able to reconstruct everything for him. So how did we do that? So there's industry averages, national industry averages. They have publications on those. So we use a national publication to basically look at the ratios for his industry, and we attach that to, we applied those ratios to competitors' selling prices in the area. So we basically used within his local area, within 5 miles, we got sales prices of the same kind of inventory that he was selling, and we used the ratios based on the national average for his industry to compute and recalculate his cost of goods sold. Guess what? That calculation was way higher. The cost of goods sold, the expenses he had based on that calculation and estimation, was way higher than the one he actually submitted on his tax return. Because we had a reasonable basis to present, and we used national averages, and we told them this is what we presented, this is what the national average is, guess what? They allowed 100% of the cost of goods sold because we made our case. We let them know you don't want to accept these because we don't have any receipts, but we have a way to let you see that these are reasonable. So remember that even if you don't have receipts, there are ways around things. You could always make them reconstruct information if you have reasonable publications, reasonable, supporting documentation. That it may not be the receipts or the purchasing documents, but if there's a way you could make your case, there's always something we could present to them, and you just have to know how to present it, basically. So there are exceptions to this rule, and he was a happy trooper after that, because he would have paid about $80,000 in tax debt, and we wiped that out. So that was a great case. It was a great win. But you also need to know there are exceptions to this rule. There are 3 exceptions. The 3 exceptions are the entertainment expenses. You cannot, like if you go wine and dine your clients, or if you're a realtor and you do entertainment expenses, you take a client out and things like that. Those you cannot estimate. You cannot estimate gifts you give to your clients. You cannot estimate travel expenses. You need to remember those, okay? So those are 3 things you cannot estimate. Now, let's go into preventing this from happening anyways to start with. This is 2019. We're close to 2020 by God's grace. You need to realize that you need to keep receipts in the cloud. You can't be holding receipts and hauling receipts and hauling boxes all around. You need to have a filing system. Everybody has a smartphone now. So as soon as I have an expense, I take a picture and I send it to my G Drive, or I use Shoebox or HubDocs, depending on what I'm using at the time. But to keep it simple, Google gives you a free cloud drive where you could simply take pictures and upload it on your phone right there. And you could just create a folder for supplies, create a folder for, advertising, create a folder for telephone expenses. Put your receipts where they're supposed to be in the cloud. So you don't have to be having an issue, or your inventory. You could always find a way to put everything in the cloud. There's so many systems now. So you don't have to be saddled with worrying about, oh, I don't have my business expense receipts. I don't have this, I don't have that. It's 2019, okay? Try and get a system in place to where you could keep your receipts. All right, so that being said, the next thing I want to talk about now is making sure if you do fall in this situation, you have somebody representing you. You don't know what you don't know. Always make sure you have somebody in your corner who would represent you very well and, present your case to win, basically. So you could like the video if you found this helpful. You could share it or comment. I'd appreciate that. And you could also call me if you want to schedule an appointment with my office. My number is 713-322-5600. And if you want to schedule a 30-minute consultation, go to www.irsdebtresolver.com/schedule. And I'll be happy to talk to you. All right, y'all stay very warm. I know it's chilly and cold out there, so stay warm and stay safe. All right, God bless. Bye.